It was right here that Anastasio Matavelli was shot by 5 gunmen last week. He died shortly afterwards in hospital. He was an observer in Mozambique's election and the director of a rights group. His colleague, Fernando Nyantave, told us he'd been with him minutes before at a training session for local observers in Xai Xai, the capital of Gaza Province. He says Anastasio's killing sent a clear message.
It makes me feel scared. I'm living in fear. After this, the situation is worse. We're being followed. It doesn't sit well with me.
Anastasio and his colleagues had raised concerns about 300,000 so-called ghost voters on the electoral register in Gaza Province before he was shot and his killers sped off in a car. Just down the road, they hit an oncoming car and overturned. It was right here. 2 of the men died at the scene, 2 others ran away, and 1 was taken to hospital. But bystanders immediately recognized them and identified them as members of a special police unit. It's only because of the car crash that in this case the identity of the killers was revealed.
And that's the
international rights group Human Rights Watch has documented 14 cases in the last 5 years where activists and officials from government and political parties have been killed or attacked in similar ways. The attackers normally disappear.
The question here is no longer whether there are death squads or not. I think it was on the state and on the security force to provide an answer on why members of the security forces are going around the country killing civilians.
Anastasio's killing wasn't the only violence during election campaigns. Opposition parties say their rallies were stopped in some areas by ruling party supporters and police. After the murder, police suspended 2 senior officers. They told us they're still investigating and that there's no evidence of political involvement in the killings.
What's being said by some organisations and journalists is entirely their own responsibility. The police therefore doesn't agree with these statements that go beyond the police duties.
The Electoral Commission says it's run a free and fair poll, but since Tuesday's voting, opposition and some observers have complained of serious irregularities in the vote counting process. The killing of Anastasio will certainly affect how safe people feel to speak out. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Gaza Province, Mozambique.